commissioner meeting or row officers with their vocal comment? Can you do somebody that? Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Bucks County Retirement Board meeting, February 16th, 2022. We'll start with public comment under our agenda item. We have two names on our public sign-in sheet. James Frederick.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Jim Frederick, and I'm a Bucks County retiree. And I'd like to address the lack of the COLA increase for retirees this year. I simply want to note that the rate of inflation is 6% at least, and the board gave us no COLA increase, nothing. Taking from the controller's report last meeting, the pension fund increased 14% last year, which added well over $100 million to the pension fund, as you're all aware. The total value of the pension fund topped $1 billion. I think it's $1,041 million in that ballpark. And yet the board here gave no COLA increase, nothing. Now, the pension law, as I'm sure you are aware, states that the board shall at least, I emphasize at least, review for a COLA increase once every 3 years. And I think it's fair to say that this board has done the very least it could possibly do for the Bucks County retirees. I would call on the board today, now, to review for a pension increase today in at least 6%. I think that's within the statute. You can review it at any time. And I think that would go a long way to ameliorate the effects of inflation, because what you've handed the retirees is essentially a 6% decrease in their pensions. I thank you very much. That's about all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you. Other name on the list, Michael Hanks, is that right?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Hanks. I am a Bucks County retiree as well. Been following the board meetings, and I'm also quite confused as to how there was no COLA increase this time around, when everything was set for it as far as the amount that you guys did so well in increasing the fund, as well as the, unfortunately, the inflation index, which is ridiculous, and it's only going to get worse. I'm at a loss as to why there was no increase. Not even 1%. I think a couple of years ago we got something, but this time it warrants even a bigger increase, and I'd just like to hear why that wasn't done.
Right. Yeah, we typically save all the comments and we answer the questions.
Very good. So, thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate your help.
Thank you. Okay. All right, those are all the names we have on our sign-in list. I do know that the board did discuss, Mr. Duran actually gave us a little bit of an update on this in terms of how the COLAs typically operate. I know there is the idea of doing a partial COLA increase was not something. Did you you want to comment on that, Mr. Duran?
The board does take it very seriously, the COLA increase. In the past, we've always looked at the amount of the COLA that's suggested by the actuary. In accordance with the county pension law, it's set up in statute that you're correct. Once every 3 years, the board has to consider giving a COLA to the retirees. The board did consider it this year. They got the information from the actuary, and the actuary provides the cost of living, and it's based on an index that is specifically guided by the county pension law, Pennsylvania county pension law. I believe that the cost of living they came up with was roughly 4%. What the actuary does is they calculate how much the county of Bucks would have to contribute to the pension fund in order to pay that COLA out to the retirees. The amount that they came up with was, and I don't have the information here in front of me, but it was an extra, I believe, $9 million, don't hold me to that, but that the county would have to put in on an annual basis to cover that COLA. What they did is they looked at the county budget, looked at the amount the fund had made. You're correct, at that one point we were up above $1 billion, but if you look at it today, the market has slid. We're down below $1 billion in the fund now. So what the actuary does, and what we've had Korn Ferry for as long as I've been here, 30 years, Korn Ferry looks at what the cost would be for this board to give that cost of living for the pensioners. And the pensioners would get paid for life. As you know, your pension is guaranteed for life. In 2020, they did give a cost of living. And back a long time ago, if you remember, I'm thinking 5 or more years ago, the county pension board had the option of giving a partial of the cost of living. So they could say, we're going to give 60% of the CPI. The calculation now doesn't have that as an available option for the board. They have to give the full amount of what the actuary would calculate for that ARC, or annual required contribution, for that cost of living. So basically, we're relying on what the actuary has calculated for the board, looking at that amount of money and seeing, could the county sustain to put that in as their annual required contribution in order to fund that cost of living? Don't know if that answers your question or not.
So, yeah, Mr. We don't, we're not going to do a lot of back and forth, Mr. Frederick. We're not going to do kind of back and forth. I mean, it's, you had your question. I mean, the answer I thought was very, very thorough one. I know Ms.
Well, there's an old saying, damn lies, and then there's statistics.
There's public
Or
comment at the
actuary.
end.
I understand everything you said, but what the bottom line is that you are balancing the county budget on the back of retirees. That is the bottom line truth, and I think you all know that.
Okay.
You have a fund that's flush, and yet you give nothing to the retirees. Nothing. You have given them a 6% decrease, and you mask it with a letter that is frankly insulting and laughable. You give us nothing, and then you say, thank you for your years of service. I wonder that every meeting there is no one here, and I think it may be because the retirees believe that this board has their best interest at heart, and that is clearly not the case. Thank
So,
you.
Kim, I have a question. We have a responsibility to manage this pension and make sure that our retirees will have a pension, unlike many taxpayers. And so part of our managing that pension is at the end of every year, the actuarials, we'll get other business at the end of the meeting, if you don't mind. It's okay to sit down. I'm talking to Kim. When the year is over, we had to put how much money in to make sure that our retirees had a pension this year?
So each year, the actuary calculates our annual required contribution, and it would include a lot of different components. How long people are supposed to live that have retired, how many years of service they have. And that amount changes each year, but we put in $14 million.
So in other words, we are not balancing our budget on the retirees. We actually had to take $14 million out of the general fund from the taxpayers in order that our retirees would still have a pension. 14 million.
Correct.
And if we had given an increase, we would have had to do a $23 million pull out of our budget.
It would have been additional
I
funding,
am
yes.
not sure if we could have explained that to taxpayers who are not having pension plans, and many of whom had no job during COVID and who have been struggling. I know until I was here, I did not have a pension. So people who have one are just blessed. And if it works out that we're not at a $23 million transfer, maybe someday they'll be able to do that again, have an increase.
Our pension is the best pension plan around because it's a pension for life for the people that retire, it's just a wonderful plan.
Thank you.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that I'm a new member of the board, that today's my second retirement meeting. So basically what I just wanted to add was that, you're not the first retiree to bring this to our attention. The board has seriously looked at each and every complaint since I've been here, regarding the increase or the request for an increase. And we feel your pain. The cost of living has increased dramatically for all of us. So it's increased, I can just speak for myself, it's increased for me as well. And so I feel your pain, as well as every retiree that comes to us and makes a similar complaint. That being said, we also have to look at our employees and their cost of living increase. So it's not just retirees when we're considering what comes out of the general fund. So it's just not the retirees, but it's our current employees as well, our expenses. And so basically it's the whole package. So all I can say is that I hear you and I hear your complaints, and we take them very seriously, and we will, again, reconsider moving forward.
Thank you. Okay, move on to item number 3 on the agenda, accept the minutes of January 19th Retirement Board. Is there a motion to, or any corrections or comments on the minutes?
I have a correction. Could we please add that Deputy Treasurer David Bria was also in attendance?
Is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Secretary report for January. Ms. Van Blunk?
Thank you. In your packet was the Bucks County Employees Retirement System transactions for January 2022. The total amount of contributions received from members in January of 2022 was $299,165. Excuse me. The total amount of member contributions refunded in January 2022 was $143,411, representing 10 former county employees. The total amount of monthly pension benefits issued in January 2022 was $4,098,321, representing 1,751 retirees. The following people retired in January of 2022. Employee Donna Budd from the General Services Department with a length of service of 34 years, 2 months, and 4 days. Employee Priscilla Clinton from nursing with a length of service of 18 years, 8 months, and 5 days. Employee Jennifer Conway Iana Cohn from the Parks Recreation Services Department with a length of service of 9 years, 5 months, and 18 days. Employee Christopher Daly from the Security Department with a length of service of 13 years, 8 months, and 8 days. Employee Christopher Floor from the Nursing Department with a length of service of 23 years, 8 months, and 10 days. Employee James Griffin from the Maine Jail with a length of service of 30 years, 8 months, 13 days. Employee Stanley Mikowski Jr. from the Youth Center with a length of service of 21 years, 10 months, and 17 days. Employee Christine Moyer from the District Attorney's Office with a length of service of 20 years, 2 months, and 26 days. Employee Margaret Notaro from the District Attorney's Office with a length of service of 23 years, 0 months, and 4 days. Employee Susan Novak from Neshaminy Manor with a length of service of 22 years, 11 months, 23 days. I guess I could say, I was going to say employee or row officer, Judith Reese from the Prothonotari's Office with a length of service of 4 years, 0 months, and 0 days. Employee and row officer, Robin Robinson from the Recorder of Deeds with a length of service of 15 years, 2 months, 16 days. Employee Eric Rouleau from the main jail with a length of service of 20 years, 0 months, and 17 days. Employee Janet Tufor from the nursing department with a length of service of 20 years, 10 months, and 6 days. The total amount of death benefits paid, payments issued in January of 2022 was $183,166, representing 13 deceased retirees. Also attached in your packet was the Bucks County Employees Retirement Fund Investment Accounts reconciliation for the month ended January 31st, 2022. The market value as of January 31st, 2022 was $1,012,514,929.91. The market performance for the month was a negative 2.41%.
Okay, thank you. A motion to accept the Secretary's report as presented.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is request to purchase FMLA absent time for Mary E. Gladwell.
Yes, Ms. Gladwell is requesting to purchase her FMLA absent time from April 19th, 2019 through June 7th, 2019 at a total cost of $2,106.26. If approved, she plans to complete her purchase through additional retirement contributions of $60 each pay until the total cost of the $2,106.26 is recovered.
Okay, comments or questions on item number 5? If not, is there a motion to approve the request to purchase the FMLA absent time for Mary E. Gladwell?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is request to purchase part-time service for Justine Greger.
Yes, Ms. Greger is requesting to purchase her part-time county service from January 7th, 2019 through August 2nd, 2019 at a total cost of $3,373.65. If approved, she plans to complete her purchase through additional retirement contributions of $60 each pay until the total cost of $3,373.65 is recovered.
Okay, comments or questions? Not, is there a motion to approve the request to purchase part-time service for Ms. Greger?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is a request to purchase part-time service for Michael A. Schultz.
Thank you. Mr. Schultz is requesting to purchase his part-time county service from May 11th, 1998 through October 23rd, 1998 at a total cost of $862.57. If approved, he plans to complete his purchase with a lump sum payment for the total of $862.57.
All right, comments or questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the request to purchase part-time service for Mr. Schultz?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, 8th item on our agenda is a review of allocation to Ben Franklin Technology Partners. There is a proposal for an additional investment. Board members have gotten some information on this. Is there a motion at this time?
Make a motion to approve the proposed VC for BC investment with Ben Franklin for $166,666 from the retirement fund. Ben Franklin will match the investment with $166,667.
Okay. Motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion made and second. Any comments or questions? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Any other matters to come before the board?
Yes, I have one. I've brought this up before. As of January 10th, I had made a request that could we please schedule time with Korn Ferry to review our allocation of the ARD payment throughout the year, and I still haven't gotten any movement on that. So I'd like to call attention to the board that I'm still waiting for a meeting with Corn Ferry to budget properly how we're going to cover the ARC payment.
We had Ms. Duran?
We are in the process of scheduling a meeting with Corn Ferry, but we did have a meeting with John Spagnola of PFM. They would be more the ones that would allocate the funds amongst the cash versus investment breakdown. Corn Ferry comes up with the number, which we decided was an estimated $11 million that the county had to put in for 2022, but it's actually PFM that deals with the money, the cash flow.
I don't believe that was brought up at the meeting with Mr. Spagnola at all. Respectfully, I don't think that was
Yes,
no one even questioned it, right?
Yeah.
correct. I had told Mr. Spagnola that that had come up by the board in some way to allocate it. I think he was prepared to address the issue, but the issue was never brought up.
I'm going by correspondence I have from January 10th that I'm waiting for a meeting with Corn Ferry.
And I believe that was, I mean, forgive me, Kim, for interrupting, but my understanding was that that was responded to and that it would be Mr. Spagnola and his firm that would address the monthly payments.
Yeah,
Yes,
that wasn't clear to me, to be honest with you.
So Corn Ferry did say that they would be happy to come out and meet with us at any point. If we give them a couple good dates, if you want to collect some dates that are good for everyone, then we'll set up something with them. They have no problem either Zooming or coming in person to discuss how they calculate.
I'll be happy to take the lead on that because now it's a month later.
All right, thank you. Any other board members, comments or things that Britton brought up? Okay. All right, no public comment? All right, see none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.